airport in the 806? Rockney? Sweet. Lubbock, huh?
Well, we work from Florida, which is near Rockney, but
Yeah.
here, and we know that family for years. We're at Ramsey Canyon.
Oh, cool. All the way from Florida, huh?
And
That's awesome.
We're from here.
From Lubbock?
Uh-huh.
Where are you guys from?
Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock? All right.
We're from here in Lubbock. I taught there in Coffee Center on top.
Oh, okay.
After the film, seriously, what you've done for the film has just been amazing.
Oh, yeah, man.
Your vlogs, your posts, thank you for your support,
man. No problem.
I thank the world of Andy, and it's great what you've done for
man.
So thank you.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a... Yeah, so you hear that? Whatever you do, don't...
How are you?
I'm good.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So this is your old stomping ground, isn't it?
This is. It is my old
You're a
stomping
Texas
ground.
Tech girl. What was that like?
Oh, well, it's surreal.
What years were you there?
So it was 96 to 2002.
Any notable people you went to school with there?
Well, other than faculty that people know, Dr. George Sorensen, Dr. Jonathan Marr,
Wow.
Norman Bird. Yeah, I went by the theater actually today because they renovated it, and it's beautiful and it's amazing. And I was like, this is crazy. This full circle.
Yeah, I loved your character. Where did you conjure up the waitress part? Did you have any experience with that at all, or is that
I
just
actually
come up with
did.
it?
It's just at the Camp Rock Cafe in Dickens County
Oh, wow.
when I was in high school.
What did you do here when you were in Lubbock?
Well, besides the theater, which takes up a lot of your time,
Yeah.
I worked at the hospital at UMC, and then I also bartended at J. Pat's.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but I've been around here forever.
Yeah. So what are you up to now? What kind of stuff are you getting into?
Well, we just moved to Boulder, Colorado from Austin about 3 months ago, and so now I'm settled in and gonna start back auditioning, but nothing really in the books right now.
Right. Well, I really like what you did with the character. How you been, brother?
I've been good, man. I've been busy, and life is moving on.
Well, I just brought us in with the video of the highlights from Destination Marfa red carpet in Lubbock, and what a night that was. I think I seen you maybe 2 or 3 times that night, actually, and it was just,
It was a busy night, and the biggest thing about that night is the fact that we had Tony Todd and a bunch of people fly. I mean, most of the actors were coming in. Then we had the crowd coming in, the people that were going to watch it. And I did not have a movie file that was going to work at the theater, and it turned into a nightmare. We literally fixed that about 30 minutes before everybody showed up. I was in panic mode, man. I'm telling you. So the rest of the night, no matter what, was just, I mean, I was a wreck.
I have to tell you, man, that the part where that really got me, this was the part, and it hit me good, man. And it's all as a result of the score, okay? It builds up, and then it gets that scene where Stelio's out there with Lisa Romaine. But when it gets to that scene, there's something that the music does, and it just hits you so hard, man. And I dang near started crying right there in the theater.
That song there is called Enter One, and it's by her stage name basically is Sol Seppi. She's from Greece. And the song, it ended up being perfect for the movie.
Oh, heck
I
yeah,
had several
man.
different options there.
Oh yeah, you could really feel it. You could really feel. I was really impressed, man. For somebody that took this vision you had, man, and we talked about this in that back when in post production, taking this thing from your mind, writing it down on paper, and you had that big old stack. You still have that around?
I do.
It's a big.
I do.
10-inch thick bunch of papers, man, with all the story in it, and to take that thing from that to a movie that is done really well, man. You got to tell me, because I know I've been following this thing. You've got awards all over the place. Where do we start, man?
Yeah, so the world premiere for Destination Marfa was in New York, there in Manhattan, right down in the center of Manhattan. And that was really cool for an opening event. After that, it swept across the United States into, all the way to LA. And then it opened up in Canada. It won some film festivals there. And overall, we've won in Athens, Greece. We've won in some London areas. We've won Canada. We've won, it's crazy. I can't remember all the places, but there's like 18 awards that it's won so far, from Best Director to Best Writer to Best Actor, which Tony Todd got. It's won a lot of Best Science Feature, and then a lot of them overall features. So, and we've won Best Visuals. All sorts of stuff. It's been pretty impressive. So, and we have not, market-wise, we've not opened the movie up overseas yet. Due to COVID, overseas is kind of on a standstill. So that opportunity is coming though. So excited about that as well.
What have you been up to since that, man? I mean, we talked a little bit. We both have lost our parents.
Yeah. So what's crazy is the irony of this film, Destination Marfa, is I wanted to stay away from like a religious film, but at the same time, I had sort of a religious point that I wanted to get across to its viewers, and that is the fact that life is short. Unexpected things happen, and that we might ought to think about being prepared. And so this film, ironically, is what that's about. And then I got served the fact that I had two parents die 21 days apart, and that was the very end of December. So 2021, this movie got picked up and distributed, and in 2021, I lost both of my parents. So kind of a crazy thing. Dad was dying of Alzheimer's. He lived 10 years, but he fell out of the wheelchair on a pretty day and broke his neck. And 21 days later, Christmas shopping, my mom's in the Amarillo Mall, falls, breaks her neck. And we had to pull life support on her. So, I kind of got served this ironic theory that this movie's about. It's crazy, but that's how it all went down.
It was rough, man. The whole lockdowns and COVID, and I think I told you, like my mom was in the nursing home, and she, from the time that she went in to the time that she passed was pretty short. I guess I could be grateful for that she didn't suffer, but we couldn't, see my mom. We could only talk to her through a window. And I remember one of the things that you weren't going to put up with, and I remember it very well, was that whole thing with you. So you ended up bringing your dad home so that you didn't have to be doing that kind of thing. Because for those of us that lost our parents in a nursing home during that time, we could not see, hug. The last time I hugged my mom was a couple of months prior to that. And that I've had to savor that hug for the rest of my life, because like you say, you don't know. And that movie does hit that point very hard, that a simple decision that, we don't think anything about, we don't think, very much about it, but one simple decision changed the whole course of everything. And without spoiling the movie, because people need to go out and rent that or download it, or let's talk about that. Where can people get that movie as it sits right now?
It's available on DVD at Walmart, not on Walmart.com. That's actually a separate entity. I learned that during this process. They can also rent it on Vudu. They can rent it on Amazon or purchase it on those two places. And it will be available at some point through Redbox. It's fixing to hit some new distribution points here soon, but I don't have the details on that yet. I'm awaiting that. But it's going to become available on some new streaming soon, or other streaming as well.
So what's been going on since then, man? What kind of projects have you been working on? Because there's all kinds of rumors.
Yeah, so I had an opportunity. Lionsgate offered a deal. They've seen Destination Marfa. They liked it. And actually it's a subdivision of Lionsgate. A smaller division, but attached to Lionsgate. And they've offered an opportunity for me to write another film. I do have 5 treatments, or actually 4 treatments, but not converted into screenplay. A treatment's basically a Reader's Digest version of it that's very short and to the point. In other words, you have an idea. And then we can convert that to screenplay. But I don't want to do that unless I know I'm going somewhere with it. So I've had this opportunity, but yet at the same time, the way I understood it was that they put up $1 million and two actors that would help carry the film. However, I think, and I don't know this, I'm still in the works on this deal, but it seems like I'm going to have to put in partial money as well on this deal to be committed. I don't know that. It just appears that way. So that opportunity has come up through Lionsgate. The other one is the guy that did the audio for me on Destination Marfa. I just got the phone with him yesterday. He's been down in the Caribbean doing like 4 films. He's been down there for like the last 2 years. And he's called me. He's moved to Texas. And he said, Andy, I want to keep in touch with you because there's a film I think I want you to direct. So I would love that opportunity because I would love to do that. So I'm awaiting. Don't know anything about it. Don't know what it is. But he's been keeping up with me over the last 2 years. And I kind of wondered if there wasn't a reason. And it appears there's going to be one, hopefully. So,
are you doing something with the Christian school there in Plainview?
So I've been doing basically a commercial for PCA for the public, what is it, Plainview Christian Academy, and that kind of went on a break. They were making some changes over there, and so I've got them their first cut, and it goes, it starts off as aerial, footage from a drone, and all of a sudden you end up at the front door, and it kind of ghostly goes down the hallways and through the classrooms, and then all of a sudden we go into like a really neat basketball game, and we captured it with a lot of on the court type of footage. And like for instance, we have a recording where we're out on the court, but at the same time, while you're watching that game, over your ears in the audio format, you hear the actual pep talk during the halftime that the coach gave them. So, we kind of combined different cuts and different audio all together and created a pretty cool effect. But that project is not finished yet. So.
And when I was a kid, I went to Calvary Christian Academy, and then it was Evangel Temple had the 2 schools went in together, and I believe that is what created Plainview Christian Academy. I could be wrong, so if somebody knows it.
I think you're right, actually, because I seem like somebody over there in the staff mentioned that. So I think that's correct.
It was great, man, and it was we were we did a lot of sports. I played basketball there and track and field, and it was we went. I remember going and playing against other Christian schools, Temple, Texas. I remember one year, and but man, that is cool. I'll be looking forward to that. The guys that have been in the movie, have all done more projects since. What do you know about that? Especially Stelio. Boy, Stelio, I keep saying Stelio's the next Sean Connery. And I'm not kidding. I think that guy is going to... I can see him in a few years, him hitting some type of role, and he is going to be the next big superstar. I mean, he's got charisma. He's got everything that a guy needs. He's believable. He always looks like $1 million. And I haven't seen...
Yeah, his presence on film and most of his characters that he portrays is kind of a very steady, very, a very steady character. Not, a little bit serious most of the time. He has... The thing about him in person is that, as a person, is that he's very loyal to the project. He's been very loyal to Destination Marfa. I mean, he's still calling me, every 5 to 10 days or texting or something, checking on sales, checking on what can we do here, what can we do there. So when he starts a project, he never really truly ends it because he's, for the rest of his life, he's constant. And I know he does that on other films. So he's constantly trying to help push the project and to make sure that the filmmaker itself has either made money back or at least it got whatever it is they were looking for. And so he's that kind of person. He's been very good for this.
Everybody that was in that movie is doing stuff, you know. It's so cool to see the film industry starting to pick back up, you know, because, boy, for a while there it was slim pickings. You know, like I was even watching Queen of the South, which they filmed the first season in Dallas, right? I think it was the first season was in Dallas. Well, that show, Ozark, quite a few shows when COVID hit took this big break, you know, and like when they come back from Ozark 3 to 4, the characters, the kids grew up, you know, almost seemed like they grew 2 or 3 years, you know. It took so long for them to
that's
film.
The deal. Yeah, when you're filming, you got to really pay attention to continuity. You know, everything from time of year to lighting to, let's just say it's a movie that's filmed in the winter. I mean, you know, snow on the ground, those things really count. And when you take a hiatus, you know, like that, and you go on break, it's very hard to go back and fix continuity. That's one thing that's very hard to do.
Right. I didn't feel the continuity in that last season of Ozark. What are you guys watching?
I've been watching all of Ozark, but I've not watched any of the new season at all. Kara's a little ahead of me, but it's been a while since I've gotten back on that. So it's awesome. I love that show.
Yeah. What's your favorite? What other shows do you guys watch, or maybe a good movie that you've seen lately that you can recommend to our audience?
Do I, Kara? Yeah, what we do is we watch a lot of like Forensic File type of stuff. The shows that we do a lot of the murder stuff. I'm not gonna lie, we do. And when I go through towns, when I travel, we stop to see the scene or where it took place. I do that with movies as well.
Too. I'm always looking for those filming locations, and when I watch a movie, I can almost tell you where that movie was filmed. You know, I can tell you what part of the country it was in. And every once in a while, I will actually catch something, and I will say, I have been there, you know, and I've had that happen 2 or 3 times.
I do the same thing, and I think I think it'd be a cool series where you have like a now and then, or, you know, then and now or whatever on filming locations where you show a scene, say Halloween, and you go in and you show, well, here it is today. I think people would love that. You
guys kept up with the Johnny Depp trial at all?
I have a little, and I tell you what, I've got Kara that can come on camera if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's bring Kara in there.
A lot more legit on that. Yeah, hey Kara, come on. He wants to talk to you about this Johnny Depp trial. I'm keeping up with it, but it's through her. So, what better source than to have her herself come in and talk about it? I'm gonna get up for a second, let her take the spot.
Hey Kara, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, really good. So tell me, what do you think about this Johnny Depp trial thing? I'm looking for feedback.
Amber Heard's a freaking weirdo. I think she's crazy. What do you think?
I don't believe her. I don't believe her.
Totally not believable. If you watch, you know, when the camera's on and they're cross-examining her, they're talking to her, she cries, but as soon as that cuts off, tears are dried up and her face looks very different.
Oh, and she's over top, she's acting, you know, I mean, I think people can see right through her, you know, but I wasn't a big Johnny Depp fan, I'll be honest. I never really liked the guy, you know, and
I wasn't either.
Yeah, but I
wasn't either, but I'm liking him now.
When I was a teenager, this guy was a heartthrob. I remember going to my guy friend's house, and their sisters having pictures of Johnny Depp on the walls, right? And then, you know, fast forward 20-something years, I've got a daughter, teenage daughter, you know, 13, 14 years old. Pirates of the Caribbean come out, and he's all over my walls again. And it was like double whammy, you know. I think there was a couple of movies I did like. There was one that was really something about a door. Do you remember that one? It was kind of a mystery.
Yes.
It was. I thought that was a good movie, you know. But
he was okay. I've watched his movies, but I do think, you know, it's important. He's just more believable, and she's been caught in so many lies that I don't know how, you know, how she can win.
The thing is that if you watched all those depositions from all the people that knew him, never an angry bone in his body. Like, you really got to push the guy. And that's where I feel like I can relate to him, and I know what it's like to hide in the bathroom. I've done it.
Yes.
And, you know, to avoid a fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think the man probably could use rehab again. I mean,
Yeah, you know, he's got his problems. You know, you can tell that he's got his problems. But everybody has said that even when whether he's coked up or doped up or drinking or whatever, he's still the same kind of laid back kind of guy. And violence just isn't his thing. And he does have that kind of a deal where he kind of like avoids conflict, and that I think that's what they've been able to prove, is that most people that know him through the years, he's just always been the kind of person that he doesn't conflict isn't his thing.
Go looking for fights, or it is.
Whereas when you listen to her, she's sitting there poking and pushing and prodding and trying to get him to do something, and I think that's what
I agree. And she, I mean, the things she did in his bed, the things that she did some pretty crazy things, and his ex-girlfriends, his ex-fiancés have all come forward 20 years later, 15 years later, and have all said the same thing. He never ever was an aggressor. He never ever touched me. He never. She hasn't had the same.
Yeah. Did you catch the last day of the highlights where she's talking about that she's hitting him to get him through the door?
Yeah. Well, they also read all of her text messages. He left. And she was saying, come home, don't be the monster, and Johnny Depp's lawyer, who is amazing. I know there's a rumor going around that they're dating.
Yeah.
I call for it. She's great. There's a petition to she better make partner after this.
Yeah, right.
She's saying, if you don't want him home, why are you saying all of these things? Why are you? And she's like, well, he's just on a binge. I just needed to get him home.
Yeah, it turned into where they're trying to really more defamation, during the trial, just basically trying to make him look like he's nothing but a strung out drug addict, And even though he's done drugs, he's still done all his movies,
He has, and I think, I give him credit because, some men would have just said, I'll pay you to make this go away, or given her money, or just, hush hush. He's defending his character, and not always, women aren't always right. They're not always telling the truth. Yeah,
well, it was that Me Too thing, was going on at the time, and my God, it's just what a mess, and I don't judge anybody because I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, how many times have I been in toxic relationships and stuff like that? So I don't look at them and judge them or anything, but she's trying to destroy the man, and it's not right. It is not right.
Same way, I don't judge, and it's a real thing. But I also, sometimes when you come back 25 years later, I'm a different person than I was 20 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of stardom, you and Andy doing all these TikTok videos. Yeah, Bring Andy back in there. Andy, you there?
I'm coming in.
Talking about TikTok. Her TikTok videos. You're sitting. I'll just
tell me about these.
Coming in hot, man.
Tell me about these TikTok videos, man. You guys have there was one point where you guys had I think it was 1 million downloads or something. It was some astronomical number, and when you got to that number, they reset you or something, didn't they? They kind of jacked you a little bit. What happened?
Well, sort of what happened too is, and we don't know why we lost our account. Our original account got banned for whatever reason. So, but our biggest thing is music. I mean, music speaks to everybody. We sometimes do funny clips with music. Sometimes we just do funny clips that aren't music related. So in order to be successful on TikTok, we're not really doing that. What it requires is that you do the exact same formula. Whatever it is you do that every time. Well, when you go to our page, it's basically, you don't know what you're going to find, man. But that's what I like is, irrational and unpredictable stuff.
And the funny stuff, really, I say, is we should put a camera behind us making them, because that's our bloopers. And
she trips and heels, and I'm over there trying to get everything set up just right with the camera, and that takes 30 extra minutes. And it's ridiculous. Yeah.
But you guys are hitting massive numbers, man. A lot of people watching those videos, those TikTok videos.
Thank you. And we've got, okay, so I edit those on my phone, and we've literally got another, I don't know, probably 11 or 12 videos that I'm still cutting because it's ridiculous. I'm like, dude, I over edit. Typical. But the guy at my shop that works for me, Jesse Hall, who actually played Skeeter, the guy at the counter that has the kind of smile, you know, and the sticky fingers. When they go into the gas station there in Destination Marfa, he's a TikTok fanatic. Like, I mean, that is his TV. That's all he does is watch that stuff. So, you know, as we're working in the shop, he's like, dude, you got to see this, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, but he loves, we do more of the actual creator content type stuff than we do actually flipping through it and watching it. But there are some undiscovered talented people on there.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, Kara, what are you up to? You still teaching?
I am. School is done, so I will just hang out with Andy at the shop for the summer. Help him fix some cars, make sure some chairs don't move.
And shoot some TikTok videos.
She's lying. She wants to sniff paint with me is what she wants to do.
Absolutely.
Cool.
That's how we create. No. But anyway, yeah, she's at the shop with me a lot, you know, and helps with little things down there, and I appreciate that. So.
You still got all the kids at home yet, Andy, or most of them grown and gone? I know that a couple of them looked like they were just about ready to move out.
Pretty much, they're all gone. We've got Eden here, her youngest daughter. She graduates next year. She's got another year with us. But listen, she's way mature for her age, and she, I mean, no trouble. I mean, she's home when she's supposed to be. It's zero worry. So now that I say that, I probably just jinxed it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Give me your social media plugs. Where can people find you, Andy? And where can people find you guys' TikTok videos? What's your channel, or what do they call that?
So on TikTok, you got to search for Stapp Films, ASTAPP Films.
Okay, I'll put a link in the
Facebook, man,
description
it's
box.
Do what?
I'll put a link in the description box. Stapp Films.
Yes. And listen, on Instagram and Facebook, I think it's going to be Andy R. Stapp, or it might even be Marfa Movie. I don't know. It was A Stapp Twin, or it's like okay. So I've lost so many accounts over politics. I've had to restart this quite a bit. So,
Yeah, no, me too.
I think you could just search, you know, on a Google search, Andy Stapp, and it would probably come up. I don't know that, but I think it will.
Hey, what's going on in Plainview? Anything about Plainview going on that I need to know about?
It looks like it's building like as if they've hit struck oil or something. I don't know what's going on. They're building everything, but yet numbers wise and school wise, students aren't growing in numbers. So I don't know I don't know what's going on. It's weird. I'll say this: they're trying.
They've revamped the downtown. So new things are coming in.
A lot of people aren't happy about the way they did the downtown there, but you know, and the schools are, you know, they're tearing schools down and changing the names, and you know, all kinds of stuff like that's going on. People aren't too happy.
Say again?
You guys watch Yellowstone, the whole thing?
No, we haven't watched it. I mean,
No,
everybody tells
Oh
us
my
to.
God, are you serious?
I haven't. I just haven't done it yet. To be honest with you, we haven't been doing a lot of TV lately. Not for any reason. It's just like that. Honestly, it's TikTok. I think that's our trouble.
Have you seen Cobra Kai yet?
We watched those. Yeah, it's cool. It had that 80s feel.
Oh my God, man. You want to talk about fast editing, a great score, you know, just the cinematography, just the acting. I mean, they're hitting it on all cylinders, man.
They'd had me practicing the swan kick again, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I can't wait for the
it's
next
pretty
season
cool.
of that, man. But, all right, I won't keep you guys because I know you guys got a lot to do. So I really appreciate you guys coming on the show. We'll talk again soon.
You bet. Thank you again, Adam. Thank you very much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
You guys have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right, bye.